YouTube is Brian Phillips. Timber flight in the snow. That's because you can do it. Here we go. This is all new anniversary edition. Go figure. 1.5 meters. Camera crew's gonna come by the tree. Taking off into the wind. We got takeoff flaps. It's a snowy flight. She's gonna stand by the tree. Thank you. Here we go. And as you can see, this thing don't care about no stinking snow. In fact, it loves it. It lives to fly in the snow. Some of our best snowy flights in the history of Brian Phillips RC have been in snow. And guys, this is why I love the Timber. Look at the speed we're flying. We're staying aloft and we're slope soaring practically. And you can do it with confidence. You need to be ready to jump just in case. And then you can land right there. That's why I love this plane. It's just so much fun. And yes, it looks like that one tire kind of got stuck funny. Let's go full up elevator. Oh yeah, there it is, guys. Beautiful. Out of the flaps, into the insane air. Look at that, white. It just disappears, guys. Look at that. That's so much fun. So guys, here on Brian Phillips RC, we fly in all conditions because we want to give you guys the full spectrum of experience. And I know that's what a lot of you guys like to do too.
Fly in terrible conditions?
Yes, because who doesn't get up and say, hey, hon, it's snowing, let's go fly, quick.
Yeah, right.
There was blue sky back there.
There was?
Yeah. One step to your right. Thank you, good job. I want to take this hole if I can get it.
Okay.
Oh man, that wind is something else.
It is. It's
extremely intense here, guys. Out of the flaps, in fact. You guys see that intensity? That's no flaps there. That's crazy, look at this. With the flaps deployed, you can practically sail it. I hope I didn't bend that axle, but I think I might have.
I wonder.
So folks, here on Brian Phillips RC, we want you guys to know the full truth, nothing but the truth, so help us God. And that means that sometimes we do stupid things like flying in terrible conditions, and other times we fly in perfect conditions. It just depends on what our deadline is.
It's usually the first one.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to see if I can hit this pass again, guys. Remember, this is incredibly windy here. This is like a crazy passage in our yard. I'm gonna stay aloft. Woohoo! Survived! Now you guys might have noticed I janked it a little there. That was all intentional because I wanted to avoid the windsock. And that's one of the things about the Timber 1.5 Anniversary Edition. Just like its original, it has two blades. It's very poppy on power, but this thing is on a different level from what we had on the original. AS3X Plus has this thing set up so that you can basically do no wrong, okay? And as a result, it is just a real joy to fly. And so you guys are gonna be seeing a few different flights on this very video. Just keep in mind, just because you see me not crashing it doesn't mean I didn't crash it. This plane has already been crashed. I landed it upside down, basically on the Maiden. I got a couple of landings before I crashed it technically. But I landed it upside down, blew up the prop, killed the spinner, and that was pretty much the extent of it. Man, that snow in the eyeballs kind of hurts, doesn't it?
It does, a lot.
I'm gonna go this way.
Okay.
Okay, full landing flaps. Let's see how fast we can get it down to the ground. Let's see if we can, oh yeah, we should be able to. Guys, when we got up for the day, that pond was just water. Well, I mean, it was ice underneath water. We've been getting rain all day yesterday. And absolutely gorgeous. Now, takeoff flaps only. We're gonna change we're out of flaps altogether. Look at this, guys. There it is. All right, so I know you guys are wondering, I am wondering, let's go walk over out of the weather a little bit.
Behind the house?
No, we'll just go right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so as you can see, throttle cut's on, everything is safe. Did I bend it?
Or do you just have snow in it?
I don't know. No, I didn't bend it. What the heck was I seeing?
I don't know.
Or is it bent? It's kind of hard to tell. Maybe it is bent. But either way, guys, this landing gear, oh, you know what I did? I just bent the shaft a little bit. Okay, let's go back to flying.
Okay.
All right, I wanted to see, so we're gonna stand over here, see if we can get out of this weather a little bit. Takeoff flaps deployed. Oh no, come on, get back on your feet. That's 15, 20% throttle. Oh, I love the launch, that was so much fun. Sometimes you gotta hide behind the camera crew so your eyeballs are free to see the plane. That's 50%, 30, 40% throttle. Just remember, when you're going on your downwind pass on crazy days like this, you gotta be careful not to get burned into a tip stall, because what's gonna happen is you will get out of the throttle at the wrong time and you'll crash. Oh, that's terrible if you do. But with the timber, it's so dang capable, you can pretty much get away with whatever you want.
I'm going by the front tree.
Okay. So watch this, guys. We'll do a nice little landing, little crosswind landing here. Oh, there it is, guys. Testing the landing gear again. Look, we're perfectly vertical now. Oh man, I feel so much better knowing that that thing didn't actually break. We just had a tiny little bend. Oh, I love the tracks in the snow. So much fun. So guys, here on Brian Phillips RC, we also show thrust reverse. You don't need it on this plane most of the time because it's so dang capable, but thrust reverse is just a fun tool to have out of the flaps altogether. I don't know if you guys can see the windsock here, but it's blowing straight at us. Now the pole's not bent in half, so that's usually a good telltale sign that it's a little bit too high a wind. But again, it kind of depends on what you're flying. You know, foamies are so much better than what they were. When we started this, I'm like right next to the pole. Did you see when I got all that extra lift? Mm-hmm. That was so cool. Let's see if we can do that again. I think we're getting lift off of the front, the ditch. Let's see if we can catch some lift. Right over the top, the rotor from these trees here. Watch this, I'm just like 30, 40% throttle, maybe 50, just for a kiss to go forward. Watch this, guys, right here, no throttle change. Look at the elevation change. Yep, got a little bit of lift coming off of that hill. That's so cool, we can dynamically soar this plane. So if you're not out flying in weather, you're missing out, guys, because it's so much fun. Little slip, 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 and then right there. That's where we wanted to land. Guys, that's why we love STOL planes. And by the way, that was a no flap STOL takeoff. Man, it weather vaned so bad on that takeoff. It was like, I didn't have anything I could do about it. It was just like, you will be weather vaned. And if you guys don't know what weather vaning is, just imagine flying a plane and it's a weather vane. That's pretty much the way it's flying right now. Check this out. Let's bring it in. There'll be absent wind when we hit the low pressure system in front of the building here. And you see all that wiggling and jiving? Oh, throttle cuts on, I gotta go tip it back. I don't think there's any damage, let's show. Throttle cuts on. I switched to thrust reverse. And look at that. Oh, yes, I didn't break it, but I did hit the tips. So give me a quick sec, guys. Watch this, okay? If you ever bring it in real hard like this, evidently these are softer axles, and you can just bend those suckers right back and you'll up and running. I did lose the tips of my prop. I hope I don't have a terrible efficiency now. Oh, and by the way, when I know I'm gonna be flying in terrible conditions, I put a piece of tape just like that, keep my scrolly wheel dry-ish.
Yeah.
All right, so we are now 3 minutes 49 past our 5 takeoff flaps. Deployed, we're gonna bring it back. So we're back by where we wanna start. Okay, forward thrust it is. Man, that thing is getting pushed. Oh, I bent the other side too, holy cow. I must have smacked that thing down.
You did.
But you know, guys, that's one of the reasons why the timber has been so popular, is because you can smack that thing down. I'll probably have to rebalance that prop a little bit. I can hear a little bit of noise. Ooh, I'm in ice, by the way. Be careful.
Oh, okay.
So here on Brian Phillips RC, we want to show these planes doing the things that they do, but we also don't want to necessarily show them in a way that's going to, you know, just basically flippantly destroy them. we don't do that on purpose, but sometimes it appears that we do. But guys, look at this. Look at this authority, guys. Look at this wind. Look at this, just walking it in, walking it in. Lots of throttle, lots of power, angle of attack, leading edge slats. Whoa, there it is. And you don't want to get turned sideways like that because that'll screw you over in a hurry. Obviously, I'm gonna have to deal with that landing gear here. But guys, what a joy. It's so much fun to fly these timbers. And I know there's some of you probably thinking, oh, another timber. Well, guess what? This was kind of my mainstay, one of my favorite timbers. It was one of my early timbers, but it's not your early timber, folks. This has smart technology. It's got thrust reverse. It's got a better receiver. It's got better AS3X. It's got better gear. It's got better nose. It's got better prop. 11.66. It's more aggressive power system. It's basically got all the things we loved about the original timber, except now we have a top load battery. Now we've got the upgraded ESCs and power supplies and all that crap. But it still does crazy stuff. When you want, you can do crazy stuff. And when you don't, you can fly it like a general aviation plane and just go around for a nice, smooth, non-charismatic pass, just like that. Bring it in, even in a crazy winter storm, which this, I don't know if this is a crazy winter storm, it's just kind of a nasty storm. And you can do things like this. I mean, guys, we've seen a lot of hovering aircraft lately because it seems to be like every airplane has to hover now. Okay, now to take off flaps and forward. Here we go. But if you've never experienced the joy of ownership of a timber, you should really seriously consider this one. You will really enjoy this plane. It is a fun plane to fly. It's not hard to build. Goes together in just a few minutes. The unbox build radio setup on this plane will show you all the details you need for setting up radio setup and also for the assembly of the plane. Of course, there's a couple of screws you got to figure out, but beyond that, it's a pretty easy build. And just absolutely love this plane. Full landing flaps now. A little touch and wet. And by the way, full disclosure, we're not gonna leave you high and dry. We're gonna show you fixing that axle one more time because obviously I'm gonna have to make sure that it's not damaged because I wanna show you guys the full truth, nothing but the truth, so help us God. And here on Brian Phillips RC, we show that stuff because we do trust these manufacturers make good quality products, and if they don't, we'll show it. And that's one of the things we love about Horizon and E-flite is that they do sell some of the better stuff out there in the retail entry-level space. And then even beyond that, okay, so now pull up elevator. Let's back taxi toward the building. And you can see I've got a little bit of a bend on that.
A little bit.
Jeez, I'm just killing this thing today. Okay, so camera crew is gonna hold the transmitter, a little bit of wet on there. Would you please hold it this way? Thank you. Throttle cuts on. I always tell my wife to hold it in a certain way because I don't want her to accidentally bump the throttle while I am up in my face with this. I can't believe it. I've never bent these until this video because we've done 4 videos with this plane.
Yep.
And I just evidently struck a chord with it. Does that look about right?
Might need to go a little more, but it's awesome.
No,
pretty
they
close.
splay out, guys.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that's nice about these. The Night Timber X has the exact same setup, and I think they might have even upgraded these on the Night Timber X and just the Timber X. So we have the better spring systems, we have the more reinforced landing gear, and obviously those things didn't break, which is nice. I mean, I did beat the heck out of them on those landings. You gotta keep in mind, we got this huge shear force knocking us down. And so, also just full disclosure, NX8, I did update the firmware. That was right before the last video, and since it's published, I can talk about it now. That would be the Ultra Micro Viper, which was awesome and super fun. Look at the wheels are good. So guys, we are about 9 minutes past our 5. So that's 14 minutes of flight time and talk time. A little bit of moving around, a little bit of fixing landing gear. But I would say that right now, we're probably about 11 to 12 minutes of flight time. On a calm day, you'd have no problems getting that. On 3200 4S, guys, that's a pretty decent flight time. Now, keep in mind, this is also me kind of riding hard out of the flaps now, upside down, inside out. Oop, I'm getting low warnings. Here we go. Up and over, hon.
Okay.
So there's kind of one way to land today, and that is into the wind. Good thing we got a crosswind strip here. Oh man, I want to use the crosswind strip, hon. I'm not getting throttle pulses yet. Oh, there's the damn gift shop, guys. Here we go. Full landing flaps, lots of slip. Bring down the altitude where we want. Full landing flaps now. Look at that, guys. Who needs a runway 600 feet
I'm really
long?
glad we extended that.
Yeah, I mean, since I practically could have landed
It's
on
like
the sidewalk.
all 4 feet of it.
Okay, hold on a second. Let's take off from this other side, okay? So I'm gonna back down the hill and because we're not quite to dead battery and it wouldn't be a Brian Phillips RC flight if I didn't run it out of battery,
Of
okay?
course.
Forward thrust now. Kind of an awkward flight moment here because I have to ride the throttle to control my rate of descent down the hill backward while taxiing. This is definitely FAA 101. That's one of the first things they teach you when you're learning to fly full scale. I don't know. I'm not a full scale pilot. I wish I was. Here we go. That was 30% throttle. Takeoff flaps, not landing flaps. That's why they call it a STOL plane, guys. No flaps this time. We're gonna land it with no flaps, okay? Okay, here we go. Just going down the damn runway. Of course, the damn runway is not done yet. It's just base right now. So you can see where the stakes are. Kind of helps orientate you. Okay, there it is. Dang it, we just, that's only 85 feet. We should probably shorten it. Let's take some of the concrete out, guys. Beautiful. Oh, it's pulsing, finally. Oh yes, look at this. We have reached the climax. It's beeping. Camera crew,
Yeah.
left 3 steps, please. I don't want to go walk out there and get it, so just a little further, 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 a little further. Good job. There it is, guys. So at the end of the day, is the timber everything that everybody talks about? It is. It's always been. It still is. It will be when they release another timber. I don't care how many they release. They're really good. And I know some of you guys are saying, but we want different planes. Yes, you'll get them. We know about them and they're awesome. In fact, they're gonna be really good and we can't talk about it, but it's killing me because 2025 was kind of a crappy year for RC, but we're into 2026. So we're ready to hit the massive reset and get some of these planes we've been waiting for a long time. And in the meantime, we can go back to an oldie but goodie. And when I say that with all the best respect for the entire line of timbers. They've all been really good, okay? From the twin timber 1600 to the 1.7 meter yellow one that's awesome with big pneumatic squishy tires, to the 2 meter SWS, to the 1.5 meter turbo timber Evo, which was awesome, and we went into the 3-bladed prop at that point. I actually prefer the 2-bladed prop, full disclosure. And we just have had really good luck with this line. It's been a great plane. I've had so much fun with it. And guys, you can't argue with like almost a 12 or 13 minute flight time in this type of condition. That's amazing. So at the end of the day, is it the best thing since sliced bread? It is one of the best things since sliced bread, unless you're really into sliced bread. But I can tell you this, I love the plane. I love this vintage look. It's kind of what I remember. I like the nose a little bit better on this style, but I like the 1.5 meter wingspan. Could you go over there so they can see the plane? So at the end of the day, if you haven't ever experienced the timber, I think you should really consider this timber. It's great. You'll be happy. Throttle cuts on, by the way. I'm gonna pick this up. The inboard flaps are huge. They're slotted and they work really well. The wing droops help. The LEDs are great. Everything about this plane design is just really fun. And they've refined a lot of the things that on the very early versions didn't work well, okay? Namely, bottom loading batteries on a float plane, not so good, okay? This one loads from the top, just like the newer versions, and it's very easy to get in and replace the battery. So at the end of the day, I think it's the solution for many of us that want to do STOL sport flying. So other flights to follow. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. More from Brian Phillips RC. YouTube, it's Brian Phillips. No way, another timber. 1.5 meters. This is all new from E-flite. 10th anniversary. Look at the nose. It's a throwback to the original. 2-bladed prop. It's going to be exciting. And we're going to fly it right now. We've had some pretty terrible weather, but we're going to take the best of it right now. And we're going to fly it. Guys, beautiful light package on this plane. Takeoff flaps. I set mine a little bit lower. NX8 Plus, second plane we've done with this. And now we have thrust reverse, which is pretty sweet. I'm gonna drag this one out. Oh, beautiful. And as you can see, tons of power, 4S. 3,200. Absolutely beautiful flight performance. Out of the flaps now. Full landing flaps. This is why we love timbers. Because you can do that. And then you can just keep flying like nothing even happened. I love flying this plane. It is so much fun. It's so easy. It's got all the power in the world. Shooting the moon. And then you can hammerhead and hover and all sorts of fun stuff. And I'm not even really pushing it here, guys. Oh, so much fun. I have the leading edge flaps or leading edge slats installed on mine. You wouldn't absolutely have to install the leading edge slats on yours if you don't want to, but the confidence to do low level upside down flight is no problem. Full landing flaps as I crest the maneuver. Guys, we have a 5-minute timer set up. I'm sure that's going to be way lower than we actually get from this flight, but it is a little bit cold today, so we'll see how the 3200 4S50C pack treats us. Take off flaps now. Absolutely gorgeous flight performance. Just does all the things you want. You see the damn gift shop in the background. Right over the new intersection. Let's see if we can make it. Let's see if we can make it on this new 300-foot runway. Yep, I think we can. Guys, this thing is so capable. It does all the stuff you want. And it's so easy to fly if you turn on safe. Throttle cuts off. Forward thrust. Let's see a stall takeoff in safe. Full throttle. There it is. And guys, if you don't know how to fly, I just want to show you something. I'm not even looking at the plane. Okay? I'm just going to turn it. Turn and burn, baby. Come back over here. Come back over here, Timber. Out of the throttle. Look at this. Out of the throttle. Look at this. Safe is on. Just kind of cruising along. We'll give it a little hint to tell it what direction to fly. Give it a little bit more throttle, and we'll do a safe circuit here. Slow and dangerously close to stall. Yes, I am at a higher angle of attack, and I am trying to stall the plane with the wind. Okay, we're going to get a little bit of throttle for this turn, a little bit of rudder, just to yaw it around. Don't want to cut my flag, so we'll just bring it over here. Guys, look at this. With safe. Look at this. With safe. Absolutely easy. I'm not even hardly trying. I'm barely giving any stick input. Can't handle it anymore. I'm out of safe. Oh, and by the way, we also set up an off condition. And the off condition, of course, will allow you to get even more crazy. Now I'm in off. I don't even have AS3X going on right now. And so this thing will be super jankety. And it's not going to fight me or resist in any directions or axis. I want to show you guys a flat spin out of there. This is no AS3X Plus, which, by the way, this plane does have AS3X Plus. I almost forgot to mention it. And then hard on the throttle. Let's bring it up. Let's put it into a hammerhead, and let's do a flat spin. Now I'm going to go back to AS3X. Okay, into a hammerhead. Get it floating, and then kick it around. So much fun. Gotta love it. Now let's demonstrate what you can do when you turn off AS3X Plus. Same condition, only we're going to go into the hammerhead here. And we're just going to let it fall. Oh, so much fun. See how stable this plane flies? It's just super resilient, super easy. And you can do pretty much whatever you want. And man, those lights will extend your flight envelope, because you'll be able to fly when the weather is crap and the days are short. And the winter is the majority of the time. When it gets dark at 4:30 or earlier, for some of you, this plane is going to allow you to fly right up against the civil twilight and have no problems. Now, takeoff flaps. I did set a little bit less takeoff flap than recommended by the manual. I like a little bit less for takeoff flaps. And so we're just gonna take this around. Now takeoff flaps. Now landing flaps right over the junk pile. You guys don't know what our junk pile is. It's where we put our junk. Because as you know, if you live in the country, you always have a junk pile. The junk pile will soon hide behind our beautiful new building, which is out there. Just past the dam. That's the dam runway. I'm flying over it right now. The dam runway is gonna be 600 feet by 12. It's gonna be even easier to land a plane like this. But I changed my mind, let's just float like we're a helicopter. Now power out of it, Brian, power out of it. Look at this, powering out of it on 4S, guys. Amazing. Still, thrust reverse. Beautiful squishy tires. Very, very well done. Guys, I love the turbo timber, but I think I love the original even better. Especially now that they upgraded it for top loading batteries. And also all of the existing features that we come to enjoy on the Timber X and the Night Timber X. But it won't handle that. Let's see if it lived. I don't know if it did. You think it lived? I doubt it.
I'm just having flashbacks to a conversation we had a few minutes ago.
What about flying upside down?
About, it's okay, I won't have to crash it.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, guys. And then sometimes you do really dumb things like that. That was a dumb thing, guys. Oh, what a bummer. I was having so much fun with this plane. I don't think that prop is going to give me enough thrust.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I really drove it in. I pile drive that thing in. So, if you guys have never noticed, yeah, this prop is probably a little bit shorter than the 11.6 it's supposed to have on. So, at the end of the day, I love flying planes. I don't often do a lot of upside down performance. But sometimes that happens when you fly it upside down too close to the ground. Where's the prop anyway?
I don't, it's in the ground, I'm sure.
I think it's like all over here. Here's some of the spinner. So yeah, we found the limits of the timber. That's it. All right, guys, unbox build radio setup. Check it out. Hopefully at least that will help. Come back for more. YouTube Brad Phillips, 10th anniversary, Timber 1.5. We're gonna fly this right now. It's gonna be amazing. This has thrust reverse, the dual prop blades instead of tri blades. It's gonna be pretty exciting. And now we do have thrust reverse, like I mentioned. I did install leading edge slats on mine. Takeoff flaps deployed. We're gonna drag it out and do a totally non-timber takeoff. There it is. Beautiful. Now we did set our brake force to 1. I'm sure we're probably supposed to be setting it a little higher, but I just wanted to do a little bit of preparation for the thrust reverse. Okay, now out of the flaps. Excuse me, into the flaps. I hear manned aircraft, but I don't know where they are yet. Yeah, they're pretty low, but they're way out there.
Yeah.
So guys, here on Brian Phillips RC, we fly RC airplanes, but we do love aviation in general. And so we try to be extra respectful if we see or hear, especially when a low ceiling is happening like right now. We'll err on the safe side. A little bit windier. This is our second flight. Might give you guys a little bit more details depending on how this flight goes, on how our first flight went, but I can tell you that this plane is very well done. It does all the things you want from a timber and then more. Of course, it is a throwback to the original setup with just the 2 blades, full landing flaps here. Really good AS3X Plus performance. We did not have AS3X Plus before. We do now. Inside. So very easy going, very easy to fly. Does all the things you expect it to do, and it does it very predictably, because timbers are just great flying planes. And with all those lights, can you argue with just how dang awesome it is? Crosswind, not present, hardly. Don't even need the thrust reverse right now. You see that wind?
Yeah.
Is definitely cold.
It is cold.
Camera crew, you wanna go back to your normal spot for me? Guys, you can see those wheels are super soft and very, very good, because there are some times that we have soft tires that make it incredibly difficult to roll on a pavement strip. But shoot, I bet this plane would probably land on our 3-inch clean base.
Probably.
Definitely a little bit more reserved today, just because of the wind. The AS3X has this thing really doing great though. I love the way the AS3X Plus keeps these planes under control. And if you're flying with safe, you'll be just as good. Just take off flaps here. We'll try to do a touch and go on the grass. Very good performance of those spring-loaded landing gear. It is pretty much the newer version of springs, like what you'd have on a Timber X or a Night Timber. And so you have an improvement over the original Timber, which used to have a little plastic doohickey in the middle. A lot of people had trouble breaking them and stuff. If I'm remembering right, and it has been forever, I flew literally the engine mount, and battery out of my first Timber. It was the day I was trying to sell it to a buddy. I was like, hey, it's in great shape still. It's only flown 4,000 flights.
Yeah.
And then I proceeded to do something stupid, and then stupid is as stupid does. And out comes the motor. It was hilarious. Unless you were the guy trying to buy it. Look at that crab, guys. And into a knife edge. Riding into the wind right there. This plane is plenty capable. You can hammerhead, you can do all the 3D stuff you want. I did not put the metal rod in my tail. I used the carbon fiber spar. It comes with both. This one came with floats, but it is frozen on the pond right now, so not really any use to us just quite yet. We'll have to wait for a little bit better weather to be able to take advantage of the floats. We have incidentally done floats on the original Timber. So if you guys are curious how they go together, we did a video on that years ago. You can see just how far we have come. Look at this, look at this.
So slow.
It's just so awesome, guys. Very easy, very tame. It is not hard to fly. It is awesome. With thrust reverse, it's gonna be second to none. And I can definitely tell you this, having the telemetry on screen to tell you exactly where your voltage is makes it easy to tame your battery timing, okay? Now, if you guys are brand new to Brian Phillips RC, we want to encourage you to check out bprc.me or Brian Phillips RC, which is our website, and you can see all the competitive offerings up to and including the original Timber, all sorted by type into playlists. They're going to link you to the YouTube playlist, but you would think Google will have figured out how to do nice links and search engine results, but they haven't on YouTube, especially when you get up to thousands of videos. If you decide to buy one of these, buy from the links in the video description below. We'll also link to the battery we use, which is 3200 4S, and we'll also have links to the transmitter. We just started using the NX8 Plus. It's been very good. In fact, we'll give them a screen here in a second. I'm going to turn on safe. I'm going to put on takeoff flaps, and I'm just going to scroll right over. Give it a little bit of roll authority there. Just kind of cut it into a nice, look at that. So easy, guys, with safe. It's just flying along level, hands off, not even looking, and the thing's just going to go into the wind. About 30–40% throttle there. Now back into AS3X Plus, out of the takeoff flaps, and we'll just bring it in here and do some more craziness. Guys, this plane, one of the biggest problems you're gonna find with this plane is that it will make you think you can fly bigger, more difficult to fly planes when you may actually not be able to. And that is one of the biggest problems with the timber, is it's fairly easy to fly. Yes, you can fly it upside down. Yes, you can fly it right side up. You can do all the things. You can go out of an upside down flight into a hover. Of course, I'm not going to get it today because the wind killed me. I'll come around and set up for it a little bit better. For those of you guys that fly without the leading edge slats installed, you're going to find that it's even more 3D capable. But just keep in mind that when you are setting up hammerheads and all these different hovers and different things like that, just remember, the thing is extremely agile like this. Don't think it's going to be the exact same flight characteristics or that it's going to balance out exactly the same when you put the floats on there. You will want to reevaluate that. And yes, the rudder makes it so easy to fly in tight quarters. Now takeoff flaps. I ran a little bit less takeoff flap. They called for 100, 0, and -100 for the 3 flap conditions. I think I did -100, -50, and then +100 or something like that. You'll have to watch the Unbox Build radio setup to get the exact setup. But at the end of the day, what you're looking at is basically beautiful takeoff flight performance with about half of what they call out for that middle step. And then you can cruise around real slow and have just a super enjoyable flight, unless of course it's 15 or 20 miles an hour wind and you are feeling cold like we are. Guys, look at this performance on the grass. It's just like nothing. It doesn't care. It just does it. And that's one of the reasons why I love flying the timber, always have loved flying the timber. Yes, it is another timber, but it's a good thing, guys. About 40% throttle there, it's not dying. It sounded like it was dying, but it's not. Guys, look at, you can spot land this thing wherever you want, okay? Ooh, you can crash it too. I can't believe I actually tipped that over. And that's one of the best things about this plane. Tons of prop clearance, you rarely flip them over. But even if you do flip it over, that tail seems to just be resilient as all get out.
Well, and our grass is frozen and clumpy, so it's
I don't even want to make excuses. That was just poor piloting.
You.
That was just poor piloting. Yeah, this thing just does great. And to be honest with you, let's take off here. Give them this angle here. We'll fly over the pond right there. You ready? Over here. Good job. Okay, so we'll just taxi here. Whoa, you guys want to watch out for the ground. Maybe I did find a bad spot. Maybe I will use that excuse.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Full up on the elevator this time.
Jeez.
And absolutely no problems getting out. You know what we might run into problems with?
That stake you almost hit?
No,
Oh.
the battery getting dead.
Oh.
And that was one of the things I was a little bit concerned about on that climb out, because as you can see, I haven't had any telemetry warnings, but look where my battery voltage is. You guys see that? Right down the driveway. But guys, talk about forgiving. It just does all the stuff you want to do. It's a lot less windy over here. We should have flown the whole flight over here. Let's take off with the wind, in fact. Okay, with the wind, take off flaps deployed, get up on the mains. Fly it out. It's about 50% throttle. As soon as I cut into the wind, you can tell it's really kicks it when you cut. I just can't believe this battery just keeps giving. I had a 5-minute timer set thinking that was gonna be a good warning point, but it's just so early, it's like almost useless. And guys, those lights, the lights, tell me about, what else do we get, you know, in RC experiences that you can see so dang good? Oh, the night timber axe. But even still, this thing just does so good and it just keeps giving. Because look at this, guys, look at our timer. Granted, we have to stop so I could flip it over. We're 6 minutes and 22 seconds and counting past a 5-minute timer. So we're 11 minutes in on this 10th anniversary timber. And it just keeps going. I'm gonna do a no flap landing here. We'll bring it in just right down the driveway. See, even in the squirrely behavior you would get, we'll just turn it into a touch and go. The squirrely behavior you might get on some other planes, you just don't get. This thing is so good. It's so solid. And that's part of the reason why in our unbox build radio setup, we went maybe a little bit more in depth than we would normally go on a plane that most people probably don't call a beginner plane. But I gotta say, what an amazing flight experience. I mean, it's just, look how short that landing was. I wasn't even pushing it. It was like a 10-foot landing. Those cuts are 10-foot joints, and that's how long it took to land. And of course, you can go up and do all the crazy stuff you want. It's not hard to execute, very well behaved. You got the nice wing droop on the edges, beautiful looking finish all the way across. And they've just really improved these models a lot in the last 10 years. It's crazy to think about the 10-year anniversary. Man, that just occurred to me how old we are.
Well, and I didn't realize that the timber was like new then when you started flying.
Oh yeah. And now with thrust reverse, you can even more particularly spot land. It's just crazy. Now, I haven't even showed a timber takeoff, okay? So let's just show you where we are for power. Here we are for power, takeoff flaps. We're gonna go straight to landing flaps. I'm gonna go full forward thrust, and I'm gonna go full up elevator. Look at that, guys. It's not even a challenge for this plane because it just has all the power that you could possibly want. Out of a flip, straight down, and thrust reverse, guys. It's amazing. Now, I do feel like I'm losing a little bit of power now because it's so cold. Even though it's not sagged down, it's getting close. I can tell it's getting a little bit less ballsy on the thrust reverse. And that's usually where you feel it first. But just get back into the air. Did I finally hear an audible alarm?
I didn't.
Thought I heard. There's full throttle. Can I tell them now?
What?
About my thing?
Sure.
So guys, you may have noticed a little crack in the wing. And if you did, it's not in your head. I tried to land this plane upside down yesterday and blew up the prop and the spinner and all sorts of stuff. And look at this thing flying. It's just doing amazingly. There is really no pain or suffering at all on this model. And I have already landed it upside down in power.
Yeah.
It was
Hard.
crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what order you're gonna see these clips, but just in true timber fashion, this thing takes a licking and keeps on ticking. And it's just a great model. It was a great model then, and it's still a great model now. And if you've never experienced the timber, check out the links in the video description below. The reason you may notice a little bit of a difference in performance on this flight from the original flight is because I have a different prop on there. This is the Night Timber X prop. And so it is a little bit different responsively because it is a 13.4 instead of an 11.6.6.
Yes.
Which means that it is markedly less aggressive. But I gotta say, it's not bad. It's doing really good. And I think where it kind of shines is look how close these landings are right on themselves. So also, I actually have original timber props, but the original timber props were 12.4s,
Yes,
right?
correct.
And so I thought, well, this will be at least closer to the original factory offering. Now keep in mind, they have tuned and changed around the power system. By the way, I'm flying between trees there if you didn't connect the dots yet. We'll do grass ops. And so with the addition of the more powerful, more resilient power system, we are talking about just almost flawless flight performance. Even with the wrong, oh, I just got a warning finally. Yep, I just finally got a warning. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a landing here. Going around, hitting the wind. Let's go back just a little bit. I'm gonna try to do a spot landing right for us. That's good enough. You're fine there. So we'll go between the trees. That used to be where the cherry was, guys. Lots happened in the last 10 years. It's been like a whirlwind for us, to be honest. And the timber has been there all the way through our experience, okay? What an amazing plane. If you haven't ever had a 1.5 meter timber, it is a great flight experience. Obviously, the 1.7 meter is amazing. It's really good. The 2 meter is even better, but they're also considerably more money. This is a more entry-level budget, but it is an extreme quality plane. You will really enjoy it. Wings come off in minutes with 2 plastic screws. They can be separated. Mine have been separated a little bit more than we would have liked, but yours doesn't necessarily have to crash upside down. But I couldn't believe it. The thing landed, and I had it fixed in 45 minutes or an hour. It was basically just searching around to see if I could find pieces that would make it work. But it is just such a good plane that even landing upside down, we're talking a couple of squeezes of glue and a couple of pieces of tape, and that thing is up in the air performing really well. Now, we are gonna get another prop on there. That's gonna be the factory 11.6 inch by 6 inch. And we're gonna see if the performance gets right back to where it was. But I just cannot hardly believe how good this plane has been over the years. And the lighting makes it an all year experience, okay? When you get those early 4 p.m. sunsets and you're just dying to get out and fly something, look no further than the 1.5 meter timber. It is great. Of course, you can get the timber, or excuse me, the Apprentice Stoll, which has a lot like this flight experience, okay? That's another really good like micro plane that you can get that's good for this type of environments where we're getting dark early, it's freezing cold, you get little tiny windows of glorious opportunity to fly. And I can't encourage you enough, get out there, fly. Just remember you want to land this direction and not the other direction. Okay, so if you guys have questions, comments, leave them down below. We will do our best to get back to you. Other ways to support us is YouTube Super Thanks, YouTube members, Patreon, also for monthly support, just like YouTube members. We appreciate you guys being members, and we appreciate your patronage. And then also we have PayPal for one-time donations, but really the best way to support us financially, if you're trying to, is buy things just like this, or just like the NX8 Plus. By the way, if you have an old NX8 and you want to make it a 20-channel transmitter, then just upgrade the firmware. I just upgraded the firmware when I pulled this out of the box. We've been waiting for almost a year to break this out because the NX10 has been wonderful. And the only thing you miss when you go to the 8 is you miss the sliders here, which I don't really often use. And you go to a regular gimbal instead of a Hall Effects gimbal. I don't necessarily need that. Now, we did put a 6,600 milliamp hour battery in here, which does help give you a little bit more capacity. And I would highly encourage you to do that because the standard 2,200, I think is what it is now, are a little bit short on their capacity, if you ask me. But just amazing. It's been a great experience, and we're up to 2 planes now in here. I just can't show you in case something gets pushed back. Both were early releases, and both were really fun. But the timber is just amazing. If you've never had one, and you're looking for a way to get into the hobby, this is a lot of plane to handle, but with safe, the flip of a switch, and we'll show you how to set that switch up to do all that. I also set mine up with an off switch. And of course we have AS3X at the top. So AS3X Plus is gonna be called out, and this thing has stabilization that's gonna make it fly in these windy conditions that we're enjoying today. And it is taking the wind out of my sails. I'm about to freeze like a popsicle. So that being said, beautiful plane, beautiful platform. Yes, it's another timber, but it's the original one. And guys, I really liked the 2-bladed. I like the turbo timber. I like the turbo prop looking front end that's a little bit longer. But at the same time, I always thought that this shorter platform was pretty sweet looking. And I was never a huge fan of the Timber X because I didn't like the shorter wing. If you guys didn't know this, you should be able to plop those 1.2s on here if you wanted to. And you basically have a Timber X, okay? I like the longer wings. I like the leading edge slats. But a lot of you guys 3D people preferred to stay with the shorter wings and the bigger control surfaces, which by the way, they're like 1.5 times as big. They are gigantic. Huge. So if you're trying to do crazy 3D, full length ailerons, things like that, you can do all that stuff with Timber X. Really good platform. But my suggestion is if you're getting a Timber X, get a night Timber X so you can have it light up like a firework, and it is something to see. So, all right guys, hopefully we answered your questions. What an awesome platform. I'm sure some of you guys are gonna be annoyed it's another Timber, but I don't know why you'd be annoyed with such an awesome plane, because if they're all awesome, I don't care if we get 7 or 8 options, because I really do like options. And this is a really good one. So check it out, links in the video description below. Hopefully we answered all your questions. If not, check out the unbox build radio setup, and we probably will answer a lot more questions than you thought you had. If you're brand new to the hobby, you're in the right place. Brian Phillips RC is not gonna leave you high and dry, okay? We're gonna teach you how to get out of the chair and into the air by giving the full truth, nothing but the truth, so help us God. And that includes embarrassing crashes. So you'll wanna stay tuned and see that probably at some point at the end. We're hoping we get another day with light wind, maybe a little bit better lighting, and of course, the appropriate prop. So we can show you this thing. It is a little bit more ballsy with that more aggressive pitch prop that's a little bit smaller. And you also get a little bit better ground clearance, which does help when you have the propensity to want to nose over with frozen grass, okay? Anything you want to add? Great plane, great experience.
Yeah.
Good job, Horizon. Good job, E-flite. We really like this plane. We'll take the next one whenever you're ready. So stay tuned. NX8, awesome. Scrolly wheels working great so far. Stay tuned. So much more from Brian Phillips RC. Thanks for watching.